Welcome back, guys. Episode 4. Appreciate you guys tuning in. The podcast is sponsored by RoyalLegacyClothing.com. One life, one legacy. Take every day, take everything one day at a time, right? Like forward progress, 1% better every single day. Shout out to Atomic Habits. Shout out to my business partner, Dylan, with Royal Legacy. And just for you guys, you can save 10% off with the coupon code CRACK at the checkout. Today I got one for you. This is fresh for me, okay? We're going to talk about overthinking. And dear God, is it a toxic trait to have? It wasn't until I read a book, I think the book is like Unfuck Yourself, something along those lines. And then I'm also reading, it's like Mastering Your Feelings and Controlling Your Emotions. And then The Power of Now or something, like a combination of multiple books. And what it pointed out in me is I thought that my overthinking was a good trait, right? Because I'm like, man, all these other people, they rush into things, but they don't actually like step back and reassess and think about, is this the smartest way possible to go about doing this? Could we get the same result, easier, smarter? There's got to be a more efficient way to do things, and so I thought, like, okay, I'm a visionary. This is a good trait of mine. Like, I see things thoroughly. I see big picture. People just see other people tended to see things that were just right in front of them, and I thought it was a good thing, right? I'm like, I'm not gonna mess up like other people because I plan things out, right? And I think about things. These last 2 years of my life, as far as doing, like taking action, I've took the least amount of action, right? I got into a bad habit of like consuming. And so it's like we feel like we're being productive because we're learning. So it's like, okay, if I got to make, let's just say there's a thing that you have to do. In my case, it might have been like create a sales page for a product or for a website. Well, I'm like, okay, before I do it, which this still is smart, right? I'm going to search how to make a sales page, and I'm going to watch a whole 10-minute video, maybe 20-minute video, and I'm going to watch the second one, I'm going to watch the third, just so like the top 5 results that come up. That way I was educated by person 1, I was educated by person 2, educated by person 3, 4, and 5. So I got 5 different top people's opinions on how to do a thing. And so now when I go to do it, I'm more educated and I'm not coming at it, I guess, ignorantly because of that. Well, just long story short, the lack of like taking action, there's been things that I've been working on that are like multi-million-dollar great ideas. They just require like doing. And when I look back in the last 2 years, I've learned so many different things. I've consumed so much content, but extreme lack of action. And with overthinking, it's because there's like 4 different forms of overthinking. One is like socially. So if like you overthink about like, oh, I don't want to say certain things and I look dumb and then this person judges me or whatever. Like, I don't have that. I don't really care what most people think about me as far as that. There's another overthinking where you dwell on past events. Like, you're depressed because you're like, oh my God, like in high school this happened and blah, blah, blah. And you hold on to things and you constantly overthink and dwell on past events. I don't have that. I have the overthinking of where it's like analyzing decisions, right? So it's like I overthink and overanalyze decisions where it's like, should I sell it for this or should I do multiple payments options? Because it seems like if you do the multiple payment options, then that could work. And it's like, well, both of those could work. So it's like, just pick one. But for me, it's like, no, I don't want to make the decision until I like fully have it figured out. And I've like asked 50 other people and got 50 other people's opinions, or I paid a top person hundreds of dollars to do a consultation with them to figure out like their opinion on it. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, there's so much time and days and weeks and months, possible years, that people are missing out because they're overthinking everything that they're doing. So the chapter that was helpful for me inside this Unfuck Yourself book was chapter 6, I am not my thoughts, I am what I do. And he brought up like Gandhi. He might have brought up Oprah Winfrey. I don't know if I'm just like thinking of that in my head, but he brought up all these like influential people, Martin Luther King, right? And it's like, these people are known for what they did, not what they thought. And that hit me home, because I know how intelligent I am, and I know what I'm capable of, right? And so you know what you're capable of. You know how smart you are. You know what you've been through. You know that like you can fucking do it. And there's a lot of things in your head that you're going to do, but you haven't done them, right? So if God forbid something were to happen to me or you today, and it's all done and over with, like, bro, I haven't amounted to jack shit of the stuff that I have in my head. You know, and hopefully you feel the same way. Like, bro, you should have a long ass list of things that you want to accomplish in your life. And if God forbid something happened to you right now, you know, that'd be tragic. You'd be like, and if someone were to like come up to you in heaven and say, are you proud of what you accomplished while you're here on earth? And I would assume that you're like, no, man, I had so much more that I wanted to do. And so that comes down to like taking action. You have to take action. Another thing I learned about the overthinking was most people wait until they have 90% to 100% figured out before they make a decision. Like, I'm not going to make a decision until I've looked at the ins and outs of every possible outcome that could happen. And I want to make sure I have 100% certainty. So with overthinkers, we search for certainty. And it's like, no, to be successful, you have to embrace uncertainty, right? And what they say, whoever the hell I read this from, as long as you have 70% of it figured out, you're good to go. You're golden. So as long as you have 70% of it figured out, start taking action, right? And I feel like how I gave the example of like, okay, let's say you're about to do something. Let's say you're going to make a course. Step one would be go to YouTube and look up how to make a course, right? And I would say that takes you from having 0% of it figured out to you watch one video, you got like 25% of it figured out, right? You watch another 2 videos, 3 videos, 4 videos, whatever. You spend an hour to 2 researching it, or maybe you bought a course and they walk you through it. Then you don't have nothing to worry about. That's what you got to do. And there's a lot of things that I've realized in my life where I'm like waiting on that 90% to 100% of certainty. And so I'm big on being intentional. So what you have to do and what I'm doing is I'm intentionally doing things and embracing that uncertainty. It's like this podcast. I have no idea if it is going to go well. The same thing with me not editing it. I'm embracing like the imperfection. Being a perfectionist is good because it means that you care about your work, and your end product that you provide for people is going to be better than the next guy because you're more of a perfectionist. So you care about those specific small details that the other guy's going to be like, right? And so it's like being a perfectionist is a good thing in that sense. Then there's a level of being an over perfectionist, and then that's where overthinking comes in. And over perfectionist is like, no, it's not right. Can't tell you how many music videos that I've left, and I have a terrible poker face. So if you're watching this right now and I've shot a music video for you and you didn't have that feeling of like, hey man, all right, we're all done. It's a wrap. It's good to go. I'll send the video to you. And if, just 4 days ago, I shot a music video and he's like, you feel good with what you got? And I promise you my face probably looked like this. Yeah, I do. I'm good. I got it. Yep. Is that very promising? Where I should have been like, no, I got it. Yeah, it's going to be sweet, man. I appreciate it. I can't wait to show you what I do with it. That would make you feel happier. And my dad gives the analogy of like, when you go to the dentist, when you open your mouth, imagine if the dentist was like, holy shit, and panicked, right? It'd freak you out. The dentist is always cool, calm, and collected, right? It don't matter when you open your mouth, if all the teeth are gone and there's blood, whatever, he's going to be very calm. If the dentist panics, then you're going to panic. And yeah, it's something that I need to work on as far as my poker face. And it's because that perfectionist in me where I know like, man, I'd be happier if I had more shots. I'd be happier if we would have did these shots differently and blah, blah, blah. And so all that stuff is going on in my head overthinking, and it shows. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. So yeah, focus on embracing uncertainty. Another thing, what they all say is like, you got to meditate. I've tried meditating a few times, and I'm going to. Like, literally tomorrow is day one for me. By the time you're watching this, I've probably been meditating for a month or so. But for me, tomorrow is day one of making sure, like, mandatory, non-negotiable. It's one of the things that I'm just going to do every day. No matter what, 10 minutes. Doesn't matter how busy I am, 10 minutes. And yeah, that's another little thing to try out, right? So try to meditate 10 minutes. Also, as you become better at meditating, you're aware of like your thoughts. And so you just got to like tell yourself, like, when you have all these ideas. So with this music video that I'm talking about, that was just 4 days ago. The whole ride home, it was like a 4-hour ride home. I'm just thinking about like, I give it a 6 out of 10. It's not a good representation of like what I'm capable of. Like, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I did. I didn't get the shot. And I'm just thinking about this, and I'm like, oh my God, now if I didn't do a good job and he heard these good things about me, then he's not gonna work with me, and then word of mouth spreads, and then I don't live up to my reputation, and like, oh man, overthinking, right? Because here's the beautiful thing is when I got home, I edited the video, and as I'm editing it, I realized like, what the fuck was I thinking this whole way home? This is good. This is damn good. Then here's more proof, right? I'm about to send the video to the customer, and I talked to him on the phone, and he was like, and this is a guy that's done a lot of music videos in his career, and he's big. And yeah, he said, yeah, so, because I was like, yep, I'm gonna send you the video tomorrow. And he was like, yep, just when you send it over, and then I'll let you know what revisions I have. And then he goes, well, I mean, maybe there won't be any revisions. But he said, I will tell you this. I mean, I've done a lot of videos in my career. I've never got a video where I didn't do revisions. And he was like, but when I do revisions, it's just small things. It might be like, hey, bro, just change this or change that. You know, no big deal. Like, I'm not too hard to work with. And I was like, okay, yeah, I gotcha. I sent him the video the next day, and he said, this is crazy. I don't see any revisions. This is really crazy. Let me send it over to the other artist that was on the song, see what he thinks. That other artist sent me a voice message and was like, bro, just got done watching that video, me and my manager. After seeing what you did with what you were working with, and then the professionalism and the turnaround and what you did, like, hats off, I salute you. And again, this is a video that at the end of the video, when they asked me, how you get everything you need, it was, yep, I got everything I need, right? And the overthinking. And then the whole way home, again, overthinking, and I'm venting to my wife when I got home, like, this went wrong, and this and that, and I needed more of this and that. Overthinking, man. And what you'll realize is like, you're punishing yourself for no reason. It's like you're taking away your own happiness because of all these stupid thoughts that don't serve you. And so the sooner you realize that these are thoughts that don't serve me and they don't benefit me, right? It's just harmful. It's negative. It doesn't help in any way, shape, or form. I'm aware it's a thought, and I'm gonna pretend that it's like a turn left to keep, turn right to get rid of, and it's like swipe right, like let's get rid of that thought. I'm working on it. Again, I'm being intentional, so it doesn't happen overnight. You know, if you've been overthinking, I would say the longer you've been overthinking, the longer it's gonna take to overcome overthinking. But as long as you're aware of it, and like, I've heard people talk about, oh, I'm an overthinker, and oh, I think you're just overthinking it, Crack. And I would think to myself like, yeah, but I'm being smart though. And then yeah, just realizing you're not what you think about. You are what you do, right? So, and if you realize, as soon as you realize you're not doing a whole lot of shit because you're thinking so damn much and overthinking it, it's like, no, I want to change that, man. I want to change that, because life is short. You're going to wake up and be, I mean, I don't know how old you are watching this, but I'm 34. I don't want to wake up and be 40 and still in the same position, battling the same negative thoughts that I've been battling my whole life, you know? So in order to change, you got to be willing to change. And in order to realize what things you need to fix or work on, you got to have self-awareness. So good talk. good episode 4. Let me know in the comments on YouTube what topics you guys want me to talk about. I am batch filming these, so like you might have commented on the last one or the one before that, but just know that I'm filming multiple episodes in one sitting. So yeah, subscribe, like, follow for more, all that good shit. Screenshot this, tag me on Instagram, Cracka_Lack. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget warlegacyclothing.com for the motivated and inspired, by the motivated and inspired. You get 10% off with what? Coupon crack. Thumbs up. Hope you guys have a good week. See you guys next time.